So given all we know about what it takes to design a great user experience, why is it that there's still experiences out there that don't have a great design? Well, there are obstacles to doing this work. So first of all, some products don't have UX professionals working on them, and that's why they're not well designed. But even sometimes when there are UX people working on a product, or there are UX people within the organization, there can be obstacles to doing this work and doing it well. So let's talk about what some of those obstacles are. The first one that I want to talk about is that it's possible that the team that's working on the product, the stakeholders, the programmers, the developers, the product manager, they may not have a really clear understanding of what UX is. A lot of times people think user experience is just that very narrow definition I mentioned of user UI design, or sometimes they even think user experience is really visual design. Anybody who's been in this field for a while will have had someone say, well, we'll do the design work, we'll design the product, and then you, the UX person, you'll make it pretty, right? Which is like, what the heck does that mean? They're probably referring to visual design, which is a poor way to describe visual design too. But it really is all an indication that members of the team don't understand what UX is. They just don't know what's involved. And the problem is that they then may not build in time and activities for the work that the UX person needs to do. Or they may just fight back. The UX person says we should, change the screen flow, the task flow, so that it follows this process because this is the way the users expect it to be. And they get pushback from other members of the team who have a different opinion and don't realize that the UX person is suggesting this not based on personal opinion, but based on the research and knowledge they have about the target audience and the context of use and so on. So sometimes the problem is that the team that the UX person is working with does not understand what is involved with UX. Or sometimes it's that they understand, but they still don't think it's that important or that critical, or that it takes a specialized person to do it. They think, oh, yeah, I know all that. I can design it to be, to have a great user experience. I'm used to doing that. And they just don't realize how important having a dedicated person is. So these are important obstacles. And if they exist on a project or in an organization, it's going to possibly negatively affect the user experience of the product. Now, other things that are obstacles to doing good UX work, a really common one is not having enough time, not having enough budget, not having enough resources to do the UX work you want to do. And this can happen sometimes because of the other ones we already talked about, where people don't realize how important it is. But it also might just happen that the team doesn't understand. They do understand how important it is, but that some products, they've been given a deadline, it's got to get out the door in 3 weeks, and there's just not enough time to do research, to interview users, to test the product after, to test your design. There's just not enough time to do the work that you want to do to make sure it has a great user experience. And if you don't have enough time, if you don't have enough budget, if you don't have, for instance, I've worked with many people who said, well, the sales team won't let me talk to the users. I am not allowed to interview them. And if you don't have the resources, the time, the budget, then it makes it hard to design a great user experience. So these are definitely obstacles. I hope you've enjoyed this short course on user experience fundamentals, and I have some ideas for you if you want to learn more. So first, let's talk about some of my favorite books. You may have heard of Steve Krug, and he's written 2 books that I think are really, really wonderful and very helpful. One is called Don't Make Me Think, which is all about some basic user experience design principles. And the other is called Rocket Surgery Made Easy, which is all about user testing. So if you haven't read those books, I highly recommend them. Another book I really like is by Leah Bewley. It's called The User Experience Team of One. And even if you're not a UX team of one, it's still a great book because it really covers, I think, all the essential parts of doing user-centered design. So that's a book I highly recommend. And then, even though they're my own books, and maybe I shouldn't be promoting my own books, I'm going to because they are relevant. So I've written a number of books. Two of them that I think are the most relevant for what we've been talking about here are 100 Things Every Designer Needs to Know About People and 100 More Things Every Designer Needs to Know About People. And these books cover some of that human factors and behavioral science skills and knowledge that we talked about. And if you're interested in learning more, we have more online video courses that you can take. So let me talk for a little bit about some of those. So first of all, you can take some more individual courses. So we have individual courses that go into detail on the topics we've been talking about here. You know, there's a course on user research and so on. And we also have bundled a curriculum together, a bunch of courses together into a curriculum, and you can take the whole curriculum of courses and then take an exam and then earn a certificate in user experience design. So we actually have a couple of certificates. So the user experience design certificate involves the following courses. It involves this one that you just finished up, and then you would take user research, conceptual model design, detailed interaction design, user testing, and design for engagement. So 6 courses altogether, including this one, and then you take an exam, and when you pass the exam, then you earn a UX certificate. In addition to the UX certificate, we also have a curriculum and a series of courses for a UX strategy certificate, and we also have one on brain and behavioral science. So if you're interested in learning more, you may want to check out those courses. If you are a more experienced UX professional, you might be interested in our mentoring that we have. So we have a mentoring program that is 10 one-on-one sessions to take your UX skills to the next level, and you might want to check that out. So I encourage you, learn more, and let us know if there's anything we can do to help.